I guess I should first express what my thoughts were on the first Spider-Verse movie. 12 out of 10 masterpiece, it's perfect. Do I really need to say anything else? It's the best animated movie to come out of the 2010s. And since it was that good, I was not expecting the sequel to be even close to that. I was expecting a Lego movie 2, but instead, we got a Kung Fu Panda 2. Oh golly baby, this movie's good. I'm gonna try to keep my thoughts brief on this one since it is just a part 1 of a larger story. But for what we got, this is a really good part 1. All of the great action from the last movie is here again, except that now they have expanded the styles beyond the comic book aesthetic of the first one. Like, I know the first movie kinda dabbled with the idea of different styles for different universes, but this one fully immerses itself into giving every universe a different and unique identity. And I really thought they'd phone it in with the art style like Disney did with Multiverse of Madness, but no, every dimension is given a lot of care to look authentic within the movie. None of the art style stood out as wrong. It really makes the multiverse feel diverse and unique, which is good because I think a lot of people are getting tired of hearing multiverse in superhero movies because Marvel has been so stupid with it, but this movie actually integrates it into its story in a very satisfying way. Like, we still get a bunch of cameos and reference from other Spider-Man stuff, but they don't feel like forced cameos. They feel genuinely organic and tasteful, to the point that I think the movie would actually be worse without them. I think this narrative is the best use of the multiverse that I have ever seen out of any Marvel project. And without going into spoilers, it might be the best story arc that Spider-Man has ever gotten. This movie actually opts out of having a lot of action scenes throughout its runtime and instead chooses to let most of its scenes be characters just talking to one another. But while that would usually make a lot of movies boring, it works really well here because these are characters that you really like and care about. There's a lot more focus on Gwen in this movie than in the last one, and in this scene she receives so much good characterization that expands what her character was in the last movie. Her interactions with Miles are definitely the highlights of this film. I really understood both of their motivations and why they made the decisions that they did, and I am really glad that they chose to not bring back the side characters from the last movie. I like Nick Cage, but let's be honest, that was a very one-note character. And with a multiverse of different spider people, like, you gotta bring some new people in. And thankfully they do. And they're all great, just as good as the last movie. But the best character at the end of the day is still Miles. He is definitely the perfect protagonist for these movies. I really like that he still upholds his own principles, but at the same time has his own character flaws that lead him to make mistakes. But because the script is so good, he actually feels more mature in this than he was in the last movie, even though he's not really that much older. You really are just rooting for him throughout the entire film, even when he's doing things that might be wrong. But okay, alright, I know you guys are waiting for. How good is the villain of the movie?
So good.
I was really worried at first about the Spot, because when they introduce him, they treat him like a joke. No one takes him seriously. Now it's just like, oh, here we go again. But then, because nobody takes him seriously, he is allowed to become stronger and stronger, and by the end of the movie, he just becomes this multiversal menace. He's kind of like Garo from One Punch Man, where he's not that powerful at the beginning, but because nobody really takes him seriously, he's allowed to become this godlike figure. He's also got a good fun personality to him. Like, he's kind of quirky and weird, but not in an annoying and grating way. You kind of do grow to like this guy. His design and powers are really creative and incredibly fun to watch, although I do think they missed out on the opportunity of making him go to the Morbius dimension. But oh well, I guess you can't win them all. It's still a really good use of the superpower. It's great to see portals being used in an intelligent way, unlike other Disney movies. But if I did have to say, I do think the movie is leaning towards Miguel O'Hara being the main antagonist of the duology. And he's really cool in this movie, but I don't think there's much I can say about him until the second movie comes out. But I can totally see both of these guys being wonderful villains. However, if there is one thing that I have to complain about this movie, the one thing that is preventing me from giving this a 10 out of 10, it's the ending. Not that it's bad or anything, but the movie definitely leaves it very open for a sequel, which I know it's going to have, but I do wish the movie had some more conclusivity to it. It's a little awkward when you get to the climax because everything is just gaining intensity, and it looks like it's about to lead into the third act, but then the movie just ends, and I just kind of wish they hadn't done that. Like, it all looked like it was heading towards the third act of the movie, so I don't know what the second one is gonna have that justifies an entire movie. But honestly, that's fine by me, because I am 100% looking forward to the sequel. It has been a really long time since we've had a movie this good come out. No less a movie that actually lives up to the expectations that we had. And I'm really happy that I am excited for the sequel. I miss being able to look forward to good movies.
Alright, Disney and Pixar, you guys are getting shown up by the Emoji Movie people now. I'm sure Elemental will be your saving grace.
But for now, I think I'll give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a 9 out of 10. However, if Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse lives up to the promises this movie made, then I will totally change the score to a 10 out of 10. That's all I got for this video. Goodbye!